of controversy in Cranston over the growth of Garden City. We'll hit that and a whole bunch more tonight.
The Dan York State of Mind program is brought to you in part by Lookout Rhode Island and Takeo Comfort Solutions.
Welcome in. Great to have you aboard. Now, I always get a little squeamish when we do things like this because of show production schedules. We actually recorded the show that you're watching Monday night last Thursday, only a few days behind, which precludes our usual Monday rundown, which is always chock full of things that happen on the weekend, including something that happened out of the Trump administration. And of course, by this time, it'll be kind of interesting to know actually on Monday for real, meaning today for real, whether Jeff Sessions was under a lot of heat or whether this thing is starting to pass. My guess is the momentum that the Attorney General probably has got to deal with in terms of Democrats calling for his, you know what, probably built through the Sunday program. We will tackle that this week, no doubt about it. Program note, though, tomorrow we're kind of doing our annual special show where we have our own version of, I know you can't use this term, I can't use that term, because I think that's also copyrighted, but we have our own brackets show for the Open Boys and Girls High School Basketball Championships here in Rhode Island. Kind of something we started last year, and that'll be fun. That's tomorrow night. You know why I like to do that show? A, of course, I'm a basketball junkie, but more because you meet kids. And I love having the kids on the show. So that will be tomorrow night. In the meantime, Special Olympics has got a terrific project that you're going to hear about coming up later on in this broadcast. But the president of the city council in Cranston, and he likes to be called the president because, doggone it, it took a lot to get there. He'll explain that. Michael Farina is my guest because of stuff like this. Here is a headline that caused us to have this conversation last Wednesday on the radio. Redevelopment District for Garden City Center has been a little bit of a little bit of a hornet's nest because the residents in their backyard are a little squeamish about what might be. Here's how the vote went. We have, I think we have a graphic on that. Those are the folks who voted for it, including the president of the council, and there were 3 dissenting votes. Mr. McCauley was kind enough to join us for a little debate with the president of the council on the radio last week to talk about it, but Mike is here to explain what's happened. Good to see you, Mr. President.
Good to see you too, Mr. York.
The Garden City area, I've always been kind of charmed by it in a sense. There's a lot of things that, you know, people ask me where I'm from originally. You know, I'm a Jersey guy, but the Garden City Center is like classy Jersey for me. I mean, it's like, you know, and I think Rhode Island's North Jersey anyway.
I don't know if you take that as a compliment.
Well, see, you need to because it's meant that way. There's kind of a nuanced specialness about the Garden City shop. Now, you're not the owner and the developer, but you've allowed with this vote, this developer to kind of have a more freewheeling opportunity to grow that place. So explain how this started and what's at stake.
Yeah, so if you think about Garden City, it's a village concept area. It's kind of the first, and it was the first mixed-use development area in the country. It's the first outdoor mall. I believe it's been around since 1954.
Right.
The idea when they started it was the whole concept that people live around it, they shop there, they walk there, they have a good open forum of retail. As retail has evolved, the shopping center went to more big box stores. You had a Circuit City, you had a Child World, you had all these big box stores. As the retail market evolved again, big box stores became passé and they started to go out of business. There was a couple management companies that came in. They really, the one that's there now, Wilder, brought back the idea of a village concept. And they did that through bringing in new developments, new customers, new retailers, new restaurants. And they took a step back from their development. And they looked at what's going on in Natick, Mass. And different areas around New England and how they're starting to build more of these village concept shops that have maybe a hotel, maybe a Tesla dealership, maybe more high-end retail, more restaurants, more boutique type things. They hired an architectural firm to kind of build an idea of what Garden City could look like. They put that all on an ordinance. They came before us and they started telling us what they think they wanted. We heard a lot of residents came out. They talked about building heights. They talked about where they could build and what they could build. And we heard some of their concerns and we basically restricted them a little bit. But we wanted to give them the ability to compete against other retail establishments. You know, across the street you have Chapel View. You have the area behind the library, which is now owned by the Capianato Corp., which they're going to be developing. They can have up to 100-foot buildings on those sites. It would be tough for Garden City to compete against something right across the street without having the same kind of rules and regs applied to them.
All right, so here's a little excerpt of what the council meeting looked like.
If we're trying to attract a hotel or a residential developer, they're not going to come along for the ride and say, oh, we think we can get the variance. This allows us to create that framework, again, to think about those uses and those opportunities.
All right, so that's the owner of the Garden City. I'm trying to figure out exactly what exists now and what you did to free them up specifically.
Yeah, so what we did was they're in what's called a C3 zone, and they can build any kind of retail building. Commercial level 3. Okay. And there's commercial level 4 and 5. 4 is highway and 5 is highway heavy commercial. I can't believe I know those. C3 is basically your typical commercial zone. You can have a store, you can have something that's 35 feet high. They wanted to be able to go a little higher with their building height and have some residential built in to their area. They also wanted to be able to add potentially an auto store. And it's more for the high-end car companies, motorcycle dealerships. They're going away from the idea of a car lot concept. Tesla's a key example. You go to a Tesla store, they actually have a store in a mall where they park 2 cars and people come in and look at them. So they were thinking we could have that someday. It doesn't give them an open ticket to do this stuff. They still have to go before zoning and planning and follow the uses and rights of the city of Cranston, but it gives them the ability to compete against other people who may be across the street, down the road, in Providence, to try to attract
So you
business.
grew their 35-foot capacity and height to 75
Yes,
feet, correct?
in the center.
In the center. But other than that,
I think we added the ability to build a parking garage, and what we tried to get the
hotel.
residents. Yeah, what we tried to get the residents to understand is if the higher they go, the smaller it gets, because you can't have a big, long, expansive place where they don't have the room. I mean, they have a 49-acre site, but it's spread out wide enough. They're not going to bulldoze half of their retail to put in a hotel. They're going to have to try to fit it in where they want. And Tom Wilder, the owner of the Wilder Companies, came out and said, we have no plans to build a hotel. We have no plans to build any of this. This is all concept. But if we wanted to, we want to be able to. There's a building up top where the bank is. That's a 35-foot small commercial office space. They could come to the point where they say that's really not good for retail because of its location outside the center. We want to build a 6-story building. Is
there an aesthetic consistency that's built into this? In other words, the flavor has got to remain.
There is.
Obviously, they're not dumb developers, so they would want the aesthetics to have some kind of consistency anyway.
If you look at what they've done, in the old Garden City, you had the village side, which is the back half, and then you had like the retail side, which is parking lots in the front half. They're making the back half look like the front half. They're making the Phase 4 building, which is where the old office building was, which is going to have a legal C-bar. It's going to have high-end boutiques. They're making that look like the front half. They're going all in with the idea of the village concept. They really want to catch.
And people like that. I mean, the box stores are falling prey to online transactional business, so they're no longer the hot commodity.
No, and they're building what I like to call a catch-and-hold type retail environment. A typical store is catch and release. You come in, you buy what you want, you leave, and you go on your way. The whole idea for Garden City is catch and hold. That's the trend in retail now. Try to get them to come to your area, stay in your area for a long time. Now you build an audience that's there.
Your lingo on this rolls off your tongue because you're in the retail business.
I am. I worked at CVS for about a decade, and now I'm with Staples Corporate.
It would be one thing if they were bad neighbors.
Yeah.
But they haven't ever. Even the folks who are worried and showing some anxiety about the growth that could come there admit that they've had no problems with Garden City. And it's been kind of I don't know if it's as high as a source of pride, but it's a cool spot in town. And there's not much Cranston can do when it comes to economic development other than to support these kinds of things.
Correct. I think it'll actually help their property values. When you think about the center, when it was destitute and it was missing shops, their house values were down. I know the economy went up, but in reality, if you have a nice village concept area near where you live, millennials love that. They want to live there. Now you have an audience to sell your houses that you didn't have before.
Might there be actually some residential built into this new plot?
There might be, and I think the reason they wanted to add residential is where the old St. Mark's School was behind Garden City. They made it into condos, and they built a building off the side that's also condos, and they're all sold out.
Are you expecting any kind of appeal process here from the citizenry? Is there something else that is going to come down the political, judicial pike here for this?
I mean, they could appeal to the city council. but we passed it 6-3. We had a Democrat in
How
there
do you
with
appeal
us.
to the city council when the city council passed it?
You can always appeal anything, and you would appeal to the city council. Then they could
You
appeal.
appeal anything like showing up to an open mic, say, I don't like what you did, I don't like what you did, I don't like what you did, but that's, this
So
not,
there's an actual
an appeal
process,
of the,
an appeal
appeal
of
of a vote?
Yep, you can appeal a vote,
Yeah?
and somebody from the winning party would have to support the appeal, and if we didn't support it, they would have to go to court. Which, at this point, like you said, they all think Garden City is a bunch of good neighbors. I would hope that they would understand that there are planning and zoning processes. And listen, if they don't want to abide by them and do what's right, then I'll be at the zoning meeting to make sure that it doesn't happen.
So there you go. When we come back, a couple other things happening in Cranston that are pretty interesting. Stay with us. Special Olympics, too. We'll go back in, the president of the city council in Cranston. So there's some stuff going on. This little bubble up of illegal voting, are you concerned about that?
Yeah, all I know is what everybody knows. I heard about it a couple days before everybody else. I think the article in the Projo kind of sparked the mayor's hand to have to announce it. They're investigating it thoroughly, and my hope is that they prosecute anybody if a real irregularity was there.
Well, sure. Well, reportedly there's 8 people that they're looking
Yep.
at. A couple that might have been non-citizens, a couple that may have voted twice. I hope the lid is, I'm not saying we should not report the news and discuss it,
Yeah.
but let's not get our panties in
No.
a bundle against the population that votes in Cranston. There's always, no one has ever said that we don't have irregularities and people trying to pull a stunt or two every once in a while. So, I won't be surprised though if it gets another headline or two that Donald Trump doesn't come soaring in to say, see, that's where we begin the $3 to $5 million, the $3 to $5 million fraudulent voting count, right there in Cranston, Rhode Island.
A lot of it has to do with just the way the system was used this time. The emergency voting system was never meant to be early voting, and it became early voting, so you had more emergency ballots. So when you cast more ballots in a city hall where IDs aren't requested, and you can just stand there and say, hey, my name is Joe Smith, and you have the registrar and somebody with them and say, okay, you signed, said you were Joe Smith. It's on you now, buddy. Have a nice day. If their name is Mike Farina, then there's nothing to prove that they were Joe Smith.
Yeah, well, the Secretary of State says she's working diligently on improving all of this. Hopefully she centers some of her improvements on this caper in Cranston as it goes. The panhandling thing in the city has been reconciled?
So I wouldn't say reconciled, but we passed an ordinance that bans solicitation on public roadways. So you cannot receive or collect anything from a moving vehicle unless it is in a parked space where it has ingress and egress and there's safety. So you can't stand on the middle of the road.
So why do you
and
say
do
that it
anything.
hasn't been resolved?
We passed it. If you listen to the ACLU, they say they're going to sue us. They haven't sued yet, but I expect at some point them to sue us.
Well, you can't walk around just waiting to get sued all day
Nope.
long.
We're going to pass the law.
Governmentally, it's been passed, and
Yep.
it'll be in place, and if a judge puts a stay on it, well, then that's one thing. But I'm guessing that won't happen.
I hope not. I mean, I think we did a lot of work with constitutional attorneys. The one thing I found funny is that, the Democrats in the council all became constitutional lawyers as we were talking about this, and all seemed to know what the constitutional attorneys would say. I talked to 4, and 4 of them all said that you've fixed the issues that the First Circuit and the Seventh Circuit brought up in the cases that were voted down. It has to be direct. It has to be focused. It can't be everywhere. It has to be in specific spots. So we'll see what happens.
I think the panhandling thing, though, deserves
Solicitation on roadways.
whatever. It deserves a statewide solution.
Rep Lima,
She was sitting in that chair, and I said, Char, you need a statewide solution. She went, yeah, okay, I'll put the bill in. It's better than a dog bill.
yeah, my only issue with hers is that she finds the driver, it's odd how it works.
Oh, yeah, the specifics of her idea are one thing. I'm just saying that when you moved, the city of Cranston,
With a test.
well, the city of Cranston, well, you're the test, and if the panhandling business now moves, or the solicitation business moves to another town, you're just pushing
We're
a
pushing
problem
the problem.
around, right? So I think it's a statewide solution that's necessary.
The
there.
mayor had the foresight to try to get it passed. We looked at it, we analyzed it, we changed it, and we passed it.
Speaking of the mayor, is he running for governor?
I don't know. I mean,
Come on, man. You're a Republican. You're in the middle of that mix.
yeah, I don't know if I have 100% of the trust yet, but
You got an itch to scratch to run for the big job if he goes?
we'll see. It all depends. I have a good career, I have a good job, I like what I do, but it all depends kind of where
Yeah,
I
but
am.
you know what? You have a vibe that comes off you that you like you like the municipal action, and I mean that respectfully. I mean,
I do.
You're interested in the business.
I care about it.
Yeah, I mean, it comes off from you, and I think you know, an earnestness in public services is something that you can instinctively hear and feel, and like, you'll probably be a good candidate. I think he's nuts to run, but you know, he and I get along, but I just see him as a B player in this whole thing. But who knows? You're a good Republican, you'll support him, right?
I will. He's a Cranstonian first.
Right.
So, gotta go with my Cranston brothers and sisters.
All right, we'll follow the politics as we go. Speaking of Cranston, I didn't know this, but we got another one coming up. Mike, good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Special Olympics got a big project from a Cranstonian leading the charge. Stay with us. Yes, I didn't know that you were from Cranston.
Oh yeah, all my life.
Come in, the city council president here, they're bear hugging, it's the old home day around here, Charlene Lima's coming out, you know, it's all, we've had nothing but, you know, Cranston production around here. Good to
It's
see you, my
raised the
friend.
level of the show, I think.
Dennis always raises the level of the show here. What's this headline tell me? ESPN's groundbreaking coverage of Special Olympics World Winter Games begins March 18th from Austria. That's cool.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. We have two athletes, Chris Lucia, Amy Henrik, representing Rhode Island as part of Team USA, leaving for Austria, I believe, March 12th. And they'll be competing in downhill skiing for Amy and snowshoeing for Chris. And obviously the opportunity of a lifetime for two of our athletes to participate in the World Games in Austria.
And we'll follow them on ESPN.
ESPN is the media giant who started 4 years ago in LA, 2014. They covered the games in LA, and now they're going to cover the games in Austria. And they're even doing a special feature on both Chris and Amy, which is going to be obviously on ESPN during the games.
You know, ESPN, you know, being this warhorse that it is, and tying in to the Special Olympics, you know, sets it up on a completely different platform.
Right.
But we've talked for so long about the specialness of the Olympics themselves, but the legitimate competition that exists within the context of the framework of those who are challenged. So it really is but they wouldn't do it if there wasn't a market for it. So
Agree.
that's the interesting thing, is that they don't do anything unless there's a viewership for it. And I'm
Right.
sure that's tested and researched. So what does that say about the general public, not just here in southern New England, but nation and worldwide? Empathy has to be bleeding through this concept.
Well, let's talk first about the history of Special Olympics. It started in the backyard of Eunice Kennedy Shriver back in the 60s, and it was just a swimming competition, neighborhood children with intellectual disabilities. Today, we're talking 4 million athletes, 170 countries throughout the world. So our organization likes to say it's the largest social movement in the history of the world when you think about organizing those with intellectual disabilities.
What's the plunge? The plunge has already happened, correct? The plunge happened when?
Plunge was last weekend
Yeah.
on Saturday and Sunday. Raised over $150,000 in support of Special Olympics Rhode Island. So it was highly successful.
Was that a warm weather day?
No,
'Cause we've
20
had-
degrees
it
on
was
Saturday.
20.
Yeah, 20 on
There's
Saturday.
that one blip of cold weather. I mean, we've had this unusually warm weather, but people are nuts.
We have a super plunge. They plunged every hour on the hour for 24 hours. 10 plungers right through the night. Right through the night. Go under, not just walk in the water and walk out. You have to go under. 10 plungers, 24 plunges in 24 hours.
And each of those plungers had generated their own revenue, correct?
Minimum was a $5,000 commitment. They raised in excess of, I believe, about $100,000.
Think about the paradoxical behavior there. You have to go raise at least $5,000 to submerge yourself in the ocean.
24 times.
Yeah. Okay. You know, obviously the Special Olympics cause means a lot to people. And then the state summer games are coming. We will do another program closer to the state summer games because we get a chance to meet the athletes, and I always find that to be a special program. But
June 2nd through the 4th.
49th anniversary.
Yeah, 49. Next year's the big anniversary for globally Special Olympics and Rhode Island Special Olympics. We're celebrating our 50th, 2018. First games were in Chicago, July 20th, 1968. So that's the anniversary.
Our Olympics here, they're Rhode Island specific,
Correct.
and they're a qualifier.
Yeah, there are 3 area games. It's not really a qualifier in the sense that you must have a certain time to qualify. It's really for divisioning purposes. So we may have, let's say, 15 100-meter dashes because we're divisioning our athletes according to ability. So the area games are just a qualifier to see how we're going to place you when you get to summer games. So 1,500 athletes are expected down URI on the weekend of June 2nd to the 4th. The highlight of our year, the most visible event that we run, and for all of us, all we keep our fingers crossed is good weather and sunny weather for Friday through Sunday so we can make it all happen.
Labor of love, huh?
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Can't have a bad day in Special Olympics. No way.
It's a business, though.
No doubt. I say it all the time. Nonprofit is a tax code. It's not an economic strategy.
Did you get that?
Yeah, there you go.
Did you get that?
Yeah. So we have to raise money. No athlete in Rhode Island pays to participate. So we need to raise $1.7 million every year starting on January 1 and working our way through December. And we've had a great deal of corporate support, foundation support, individual support, small businesses. We make our goal every single year.
Well, you are a terrific leader of the organization, and I think that has a lot to do with its success in general and locally. Is it getting easier to raise money for Special Olympics?
No.
Why?
I think that the economy, this competition, there are 1,500 nonprofits in the state of Rhode Island, and they're all going after the same corporate giant out there. You know, so we need to continue to expand our programming. We have a great healthy athlete component now where we're really stressing and putting a priority on health, and that really plays well with a lot of corporate donors and foundation donors. I like to see that piece of it.
This project, I only have a minute left, and when you come back closer to June to promote, we'll ask more about this, but there must be incredible success stories about the kind of lift up that these athletes get by the competition and the camaraderie in this thing that goes to advance their lives, period. Yes?
Absolutely. Training for life.
Expectations that they may not have had for themselves that they now have for themselves because they're being treated on par with the rest of the world.
Self-confidence, self-esteem. We say training for life, learning life skills through the avenue of sports. You're a big sports guy. You know, you learn certain things about teamwork, camaraderie, winning and losing that really carry you through the rest of your life. Same with our athletes.
All right, so things to look forward to. The ESPN coverage is when again? It begins
March 14.
Okay.
Yep.
And then, you know, put it on the calendar for June 2nd to the 4th. And by the way, all this information on how you can contribute to Special Olympics will be found on our website at foxprovidence.com as we continue to support this important cause. Thanks, Dan.
Thanks for your support.
All right, well, you're right back with a final word. Stay with us. Alrighty, coming up tomorrow night on the program, something that we began last year, and that is to do our own kind of bracket show for the Credit Union Boys and Girls Basketball Championships. Again, meeting young people and athletes, and so I think we have at least a half a dozen basketball players, both girls and boys, from the various divisions coming in to talk about what they expect from the competition, college they're going to go to, and all of that. And we'll lay out the tournament because, you know what, it's high school, but it's serious business, you know, and championships are awaiting at the Ryan Center in a couple of weekends. So we'll tell you all about that, and I hope you join us for that program. Thanks for watching. See you on the radio at 3 on WPRO.